And so next up, we were talking about the 5-star batch. So obviously, in last week's stream, I talked about the 5-star batch coming soon, and that was at the time I didn't even know it was, but I imagine it is start of the year. Normally, the first endurance will get a 5-star batch around then. And I said at the time that because ruination is probably the best combiner in the game, we'll probably see people voting for whirl and sea phantom to get 5-star ruination. And we talked a bit about this in playtest. I'm going to talk a bit about what we sort of talked about. But as you can see at the minute, that whirl and sea phantom are leading the way by a considerable amount, with 19% of the total votes for whirl and sea phantom, with Inferno and Radimus Unicronus in second place with 271 votes and 15%. After that, it's pretty much anyone's game. You've got Slug and Rampage, which has been chosen simply because it's a combiner bot. Again, it will complete a combiner for a lot of people. Then you got Tiger Hawk and Waspinator. Not too sure if people voted for that, but hey, people have voted for that. And then next one will be Cybertron, Jetfire, and Starscream. Again, not too sure why people voted for that, but people have voted for it. But again, the big sort of focus on whirl and sea phantom, and whether that will mean 5-star ruination. And we sort of touched upon this in playtest and said, why have you added this bot? We should not have included it. Because this is the way I foresee it now. Is that the apes have no plans on 5-star combiners yet. They've actually said that. They've made no plans, other than you'll probably need all the bots. So what will happen next is whirl and sea phantom will win the vote. I'm pretty sure of that. And as soon as that vote is announced, people will say, right, okay, are we getting 5-star ruination now? And the thought is that if ruination is the best 4-star combiner in the game, then what's a 5-star going to do? Where do we go from there? Where do we go from having a combiner that is considered absolutely amazing, and in some respects, some people say it makes wars a lot easier. So a 5-star version of that will just make it ridiculously easy. Personally, if I was Space Ape, I would rather have had a 5-star Volcanicus, or even better, a 5-star Superion, and started with Superion and gone through. But what they've done is they've left the votes in the hands of the players. And that's all well and good. But they've also left it massively open for 5-star ruination, because they've made 4 bots last year out of that combiner and made them part of the endurance events. And again, the problem with that is that now that only needs 1. There's not many combiners for both sides that only need 1 bot, but ruination obviously leads that pack. So if we bring out a 5-star ruination, which is better than the current 4-star, where does that leave Magnaboss? Where does it leave Omega? Where does it leave all the other combiners? It leaves them in the dark. And then people are going to ask, when are you going to buff these old combiners? And so we can't have just one combiner is good in the game and everything else is absolute trash. We're going to have the next phase of HQ18 and eventually HQ19, maybe a year and a half down the line, I imagine. They said that every year they're looking for little steps. So phase 3 will come out in 2024, I imagine, somewhere early to midway through the year, I imagine. And I imagine HQ19 will probably come out at the end of 2026. So 18, 19, 20 months from now. Something around that. Imagine, just guessing, guys. But we can't have where HQ19 comes out and we've only got ruination that manages against certain defenses, or even with phase 3. So they'll need to go back and start improving other combiners. And so all of a sudden then you've got more and more work to do. So why not start with Superion, make him a 5-star, make him as powerful as ruination. I've always said new content should be better than old content. 4-star ruination should be better than Superion, but a 5-star Superion should be better than ruination in essence, because it's new content. 5-star Omega should it be better than 4-star ruination? That's a different conversation, because it is old content and ruination is new content, so you could argue either way. but a 5-star should be more powerful than a 4-star, surely, and it is in some aspects. So you can argue either way with that. But a 5-star siege, a 5-star ruination, or God Neptune should not. A 4-star ruination or God Neptune should not be stronger than a 5-star superior, which is maybe new. And that's the way they should have gone with it. Should have made it so all the bots are available for superior. That's for me how it should have gone. Now, the question you got to ask is, are they going to still go that way? Are they going to have Whirl and Sea Phantom come to the game and then go, okay, because we've got one combiner that has all the parts, we'll now make all the rest 5-stars in some way and then make them all 5-stars? Is that an option? They have said that they would make us get all the bots, but will it be a 5-star part in some way where they'll charge for it, like with the Omega 5-star, where it'll be a part that you have and you make that combine with a 5-star? Maybe, but that doesn't fit in with Omega, so I don't know. Bit of a weird one. But the problem they've put themselves into now is having the strongest combiner in the game being asked to be made a 5-star and alienating every other combiner in the game. And so basically it comes to a point where if you don't have ruination, you are really going to struggle. And there's a fine line between having people, if you have ruination, it makes it easier, and a fine line between if you have ruination, you're good. If you don't, you're kind of stuck. And I kind of think that's the way it'll go to if they bring out a 5-star ruination, because right now he's crazy good, and the only way from crazy good is game breaking. And then if he is game breaking, and that is the only way up from OP what he is right now, is to increase defense and make it a lot harder for everyone that doesn't have ruination. So I'm not sure where they're going to go with this. It's going to be intriguing to see where they go with it and decisions they make. I'm at a loss what they're going to actually do, but time will tell. We'll find out Monday what the vote will hold, which I'm pretty sure we'll see Phantom. The questions will start coming out, no doubt, in next week's stream. So I suggest everyone to tune into next week's stream and go and try and find out what is happening with 5-star combiners once Whirl and Sea Phantom win the votes.